Welcome to 6 of one and Bill of the other. We're both wearing robes. But Bill, why are we wearing hats?
Look, man, we talked about... Look, man, just relax, all right? We got all these podcasts we're doing. We got busy lives, you know? Sometimes, man, you just got to lean back. You got to relax, all right? So we're wearing our bedtime clothes. And I know you said why. So you're saying you don't wear a Peaky Blinders hat to bed? You don't wear that? I wear this to bed every night. That way, if someone breaks in my house, they're going to be like, oh, that guy's a member of the Peaky Blinders. I'm not robbing him. That's why I'm wearing it. I don't know about you.
This is a sign of things to come, isn't it? Bill, today we're doing things that annoy us.
Yep. Just like my hat joke probably just annoyed you. I wanted to start the show early. Hit the ground running, as they say.
Well, when I was thinking about things that annoy me, I realised that it'd be far easier to do, say, a top 10 list of things that don't annoy me, because life, the world, the universe, everything annoys me. But at least we've started with your comment about why we're wearing hats. So that
I tried to annoy you, right? I want to get you focused.
Yeah. So, okay then. So we're wearing robes, dressing gowns. We're slacking off. We're sitting
That's
back.
right.
We're just going to relax. It's not going to be me shouting and exclamating.
Work is for jerks and rules are for fools, man. We just got to take it down a notch. That's what we're doing.
Come on then, kick us off. What annoys you?
All right. The head nod. You're walking down the street. You see somebody. It's clear that they know that you're there. And in the East Coast America, you do the head nod sometimes. Sometimes you give them a how you doing? How you doing? Or you go, what's up? And you do that. You know the other person notices it. And they just keep walking. Now, I'm not a religious man, but there is a Bible verse where God says there's going to come people and they come in my name. And I'm going to say, I knew you not. These are the people he's talking about. People that do this. They're going to die, and they're going to go to their Lord and go, Jesus, Jesus. And Jesus is just going to walk right by them. He's not going to pay attention. I seriously, I hate, that is it's the smallest amount. I don't want to be your best friend. I don't want to hear about your day. All I want, I go like this, and then you go like this. Mm-hmm. That's all I want.
Do people understand then the head nod? Do they understand they're supposed to nod back? Because it might be that you've taken it upon yourself to go around nodding your head at people. They just might not understand. If I'm walking down the street and someone goes like that, I might just go... Yeah.
No, that's a universal to everybody.
Oh, is it? It's universal, is it?
Yeah. And there's two, though. There's two. There's the nod down, like, good day, sir. And then there's the nod up, like, you're looking dapper today.
So I'm walking down the street, and I see someone walking a dog. I always acknowledge the dog with a head nod, never the owner. What's that all about? I can't help it. I have to do it.
Maybe you feel more of an affinity for the dog than you do the person. You're like, that dog, you look at that guy, you look at the dog, and you go, I get it. And you look at the person, you're like, what the are you?
You're talking about reciprocity. Is that a word?
Yes.
Reciprocal action.
Yes.
You could actually
justice.
Justice. This is justice for all, yeah? This is if you make this wider, this is about giving something out and not getting it back. That's a pet peeve.
During the epic of, whether you want to cite the Epic of Gilgamesh or Noah's Ark, the reason that the gods or God destroyed the earth was because the earth was full of non-head nodders. That's my, as the kids would say, that's my head canon. That's good. That's why,
That's good. Give us another thing that annoys you, Bill. Well, I take this hat off because it's too hot and it's affecting my power to think. Hang on.
All right.
Go for it.
That is the exact opposite of his thinking cap, apparently. All right. He can only think with his pipe. I was just telling him, before I move on to the next one, about Captain Ahab. I never read Moby Dick when I was a kid, so I'm reading it now. And Captain Ahab comes out, and he lights his pipe, and he goes, what have you done for me lately? And he throws the pipe in the sea, and he just never smokes again. And I just thought that was a really cool scene. You're not... I just said it's not as cool when if you do it right after I say, it just doesn't.
Hey, I'll edit it in before you say it.
Yeah, then you'll be like a trendsetter. Be like, he did it before Ahab did in the 1800s.
I will. Hang on. I'll do it. I'll do it now. Hang on. I'll edit this in before.
Okay. Yeah, folks, he did that before Herman Melville. All right, moving along. Roman numerals. Mercurial number 6. Have you ever been to Italy?
Yes.
I've never been to Italy. When you were in Italy, did you see any Romans? I don't think you did, because I don't think there's any Romans anymore. So you look at a number, right, and you go, okay, so the X is a 10, and there's a V, but wait, that's 5, but there's a line in front of it. So that's 4. You know what's way easier than that? 14! 14's way easier. It is like just a pretentious thing. Like, why are we making... why have to think about it? Like, I don't know where I come from. The purpose of language is to communicate things. So if something is purposely obtuse and takes brain power when you could do something simpler... Shouldn't we just go with something simpler? Hey, do you know what, it goes with like Latin phrases too. Latin, dead language. We use a lot of the roots, but doesn't exist. Do you know what carpe diem means, Mr. Six?
Seize the day.
That is incorrect. It means, look at me, I know a Latin phrase. That's what that means. And the same thing for
You're
that
right.
lady.
You're right.
The same thing. What was that lady? What did she say?
You're right.
Temet no say in the Matrix, the cookie lady. And she's like, you know what that means? I would if you told me. If it just said know thyself on a plaque, hey, maybe that'd help everyone who couldn't read Latin. Like, if you're going to put something up in your house, maybe use the language that everyone understands. I don't go like, well, that's a language I made up myself. Why didn't you understand
you're saying
what I'm saying?
that using Latin, using Roman numerals today
Yes.
is pretentious.
Absolutely. Like, if
Specifically
you say,
pretentious.
hi, I'm the 4th Esquire, it sounds, but if they just made I'm the 4th Bill, like, it sounds a lot less, doesn't it sound a lot less prestigious? Like, they were so conservative that they didn't even change their names over They found one that worked, and they're like, it works, I'm afraid, let's not change this, let's just still be Bill.
My 2 things to say about Roman numerals. The Romans, by using Roman numerals...
Wait, real quick, do you know what numerals means? It means numbers. Like, why are we saying numerals? I'm just saying.
Wow,
okay, go ahead.
You really don't like Roman numerals.
I'm just saying, it just makes no sense
them,
to me.
It stopped them being able to do maths. Because if you try and do any maths, any arithmetic with
So I'm sorry,
Roman numerals...
saying math plural does not make you, like, sound intelligent either. So if you're like, I'm really good at maths.
Maths is
maths?
plural.
What?
Maths
Is it?
is plural. I can't believe you're American.
You
okay,
do it,
I've got
you
one.
do it.
Right, let's get.
Wait,
right,
wait,
let me get.
you
Let me
do
get
it.
point. Let me get point number 2 out.
You do
and
it
then
more
we're
than
going on
once.
to my pet peeve.
I didn't just do math once. I did it twice, so it's
Right,
maths.
we're getting on to that one. Right, let me get my. And point number 2. People use Roman numerals when they want to hide the fact. When they want to hide the actual date. So over here, the main use of Roman numerals is at the end of TV shows.
Yeah.
They'll never put the dates. They'll never say 2023 or whatever. And if you look at any old series, they put the date in Roman numerals. So when they repeat it, whatever you call that in America, reruns,
Yeah, rerun.
the audience doesn't go, oh my God, that was from 1995, because it's in Roman numerals.
Rerun was also a fantastic character in What's Happening. Well, you can't work
I can
out
read
my
them.
number system
I know
for
them.
my for my
I know them.
reruns. Well, then I gotta
this year is MMXXIII.
And for the folks
Yeah.
at home that don't understand what the hell he's talking about, my point is made.
Hang on a minute.
know what?
Right, well, I've got one for you. Americans saying math. That is a real bugbear of mine. Every time I hear it on any American sitcom, any American
he
TV
just said-
show,
he said
they'll
bugbear.
say they're bugbear, right? They'll say math, and I'll always go S. And everyone I know, you can have a room of British people, yeah, And if we watch an American show and someone says they're doing math, everyone in the room at the same time will go, "Sss," like a snake, like a massive hiss, and it'll ripple across the room.
Did you ever consider that maybe that's an issue with the British people as a whole, that you're hissing like snakes at people? I mean, that to me, that sounds that sounds like, because you're doing math. Why do we have to be plural?
What language
it's understood.
do you speak? What language do you speak?
It's understood.
Tell me what language you speak.
Pig Latin and slang.
Math.
Math.
I didn't even have that one written down, but that's a real bugbear of mine.
I learned me some maths the other day. I learned me some maths. They say 2 + 2 = 4 a figure. That's a real bug. What was that? A bugbear? What does that even mean? Is that like fleas on a bear?
Again.
What does that mean? I'm asking.
I can't explain what bugbear means to someone who doesn't pluralize the word math.
Who doesn't put beans with toast?
And also 2 + 2 = 4. Don't get me started on that.
Well, I'd like to get you. Where are you going with this one?
It depends on what angle you're viewing it from. 2 + 2, yeah? Does it equal 4? Or does it equal 1? Or does 2 + 2 = 2? Where are you looking from?
Apparently a same direction. I like looking at through the same direction. That's the direction that's not crazy talk. That's where I like looking at. But I don't know. I don't put S on the end. Do you say the same with dinners? Do you go, hey guys, why don't you sit down? We'll have a nice dinners.
Well, I have my team, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't have dinners?
No.
Hey, you guys want to come over for dinners? We could go dancings.
So you do. So at school, you did mathematics, did you?
Mathematics. Yep.
Oh,
mathematics can have an S.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Yeah. Because mathematic doesn't sound correct. Mathematics. Math, though. Math encompasses plurality. We're diverse here in America, so math encompasses all of the different maths.
Okay, I've got a bugbear of mine, right? Is bands. This is because I was watching just music videos whilst drinking the other night out on YouTube, and The Cure's "Friday I'm in Love" came on, which is one of my favourite songs, and Robert Smith of The Cure famously hates that song, and he refused to play it for a long time.
Because he actually fell in love on a Tuesday, and he compromised himself because the record label wanted him to make it Friday. And he sold his soul to rock and roll.
Sold his soul for the wrong day.
It was usually, before it was, it's Tuesday, I kind of dig her. But they were like, look, it's got to be Friday. Friday tracks really great with the public. And you got to love her. You can't just find her attractive or find him attractive. Whoever you like to find attractive.
I didn't think of that. So you're saying that actually, if he'd just been allowed to call it Tuesday I'm in Love, he'd have been perfectly fine with it.
It would be his favorite song, but he sold his soul to be for fame because Friday's big when you look at the numbers. I've been looking at the numbers, and Friday's big.
There was me thinking that Robert Smith had just accidentally written a great pop song and he wasn't happy about it because he's a goth and he wants to go around like this all the time. But I think you've hit the nail on the head. I've got so many examples of this, right?
You know that song where he says, you know that song where he says, every night I burn. He's burning because he fell in love on a Tuesday. That's why he's burning. He calls her name, but he calls it on a Tuesday, not a Friday. All right, now that I've beat that joke at its parents to death,
the name of this podcast episode shall be I only laugh on a Tuesday.
That's right.
Oh, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana. Kurt Cobain going on and on. Oh, I don't like it. We're not going to play that. Oh, I don't like to write commercial music. Oh, look at me. I wrote a song that made £1 million. Oh, I don't like to write commercial music. Radiohead, Creep. Oh, we don't want to play Creep live because we're fed up of it because everyone only comes to see us because of Creep. Oh, we've written another song that made our whole career, but we're not going to play it. It's like, get lost. Get off yourselves. These are the sort of people, right, that will put Roman numerals on the front cover of their album. Screw them. If you don't want me to listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit, then go and burn your master tapes.
I feel bad because my next rant is people don't understand my genius.
People. Oh no! Right. It sounds like it sounds like I'm putting fake anger on. I'm genuinely annoyed by this. You and I, let's say we write a song that takes over the world, makes our careers, we'll become a household name, we own mansions, our whole lives have changed. But, oh, God, I hate that song. Oh, I'm never playing it again. Oh no, I can hit. Don't play that song to me. Get lost.
Yeah, but
get lost.
I would think you would understand to a certain extent. Because, like, here's the thing. You are an immensely popular YouTube celebrity. And I imagine you on Christmas morning, and you got your presents in front of you, and you're excited, and you've been waiting for this day, and you open up the present, and you look at it, it's just a slip of paper, and you're like, what is this? And it says, really love the show, can you review Nas as it was written? Because you're like a jukebox for people's favorite albums. Like, people like you, but they're every time, like, I just imagine, like, you're at work, or, like, you know, you get a call, like, oh, the Prime Minister's on the phone. Oh, is this number 6? Can you do the Cure's Desolation Vibration? I don't know any Cure.
You're right. You're right, yeah. So I will do a reaction video, right? I will put all the lights on. I would do all the audio editing, the video editing, the presenting to camera. I'll even buy outfits to wear during it. I'll get for the next video, I've already got the special drink lined up for it that I'm going to use. Mm-hmm. Everything's pre-planned. I do it. I edit it. I spend weeks. I do all the video editing, the visual effects. I put the video out into the world, and the first comment comes along, and does it say, wow, what an amazing video, what an amazing effort, well done? No, it says, can you review Kid A by Radiohead?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is your life.
Yeah. So maybe, so are we saying that, so no, how do you apply that to Robert Smith's life then?
I apply it to the thing that he is known for, is It's Friday, I'm in Love, and he's played it 1 billion times, and he likes it. This is my thought. He probably liked it. He was like, this is a great song, and then it started to get popular. He's like, this is amazing. People are finally listening to my music, and it's great. And then he gets to a point where he's like, okay, so let's sit down and write the next song. And people are like, yeah, we don't want to hear that so much. It's Friday again, and I want to be in love. I don't want to look at pictures of you. Do you know what actually happens though, right?
What? It goes in a full cycle, right? So you have years of them talking in interviews about how they're not going to play it, now they're fed up of it and they don't like it. I can't believe that people come to watch us play Creep. We're such an intellectual band. We do all these brilliant songs. We're not going to play it ever again. We hate it. We hate it. We hate it. Oh, look, we're playing it. Oh, look. We're playing it again. It's bad. The Cure are playing Friday I'm in Love. Oh, look. Radiohead are playing Creep again. Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. You lying bastards.
What if you're the guy that made like Little Green Bag and you're a sophisticated, you're trying to start your real estate empire and you're like, I've got my master's now. And they're like, aren't you that guy that wrote Little Green Bag? You're a big fan of weed, aren't you? And then he's just trying to like move on with his life, you know?
I think the answer to this, to satisfy me anyway, is to just anytime a famous musician or filmmaker, this goes for all art, right? Anytime a famous artist who achieved fame on the back of a song that they're now dissing and saying that they don't like anymore, all we do is we remove all their worldly possessions from them. Just remove everything.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's trying to become like a preacher, and then he's saying to his congregation, thou shalt not lie. And then someone's like, especially if you like big butts.
Yeah.
Because he likes big butts and he cannot lie. See?
That's good. Oh,
I was using maths. I was using maths to get that one to work.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I know you're doing it in jest, but if you could do that forevermore.
You ever see like A Beautiful Mind? I just had the equations in front of me and I was like moving them.
That's beautiful. The Sir Mix-a-Lot bit, I'm going to chop that up for the short attention span generation. I'm going to stick it out there in a 15
And you know what they're going to say?
burst.
They're going to go, you know what they're going to say? Who's Sir Mix-a-Lot? Because this is we're making a 1990s reference. It's like, yeah, put my Humphrey Bogart joke out there.
I don't know who he is either. I only know it because Ross references him in Friends. That's true.
In America, we call that show Friend. Anyway, let's moving along. My next one, Friend and Seinfeld's.
Such a dick.
Vending machines. There's a vending machine I use that sells candy, and here's how it's supposed to work. I give the vending machine money, and the vending machine gives me candy. We have landed people on the moon. We are close to creating sentient AI beings, and yet every time I go to use this machine, something is broken. The thing only goes like halfway out. It got this thing where it can accept my watch so I can like tap it and give myself diabetes, And I double click it. It goes, we can't connect, sorry. Or sometimes it takes your money. It goes, hey, and everything in there is like $30 now. Like if you like Twix bars, they're $37. And so I'm in there and I'm trying to put 37 singles into the machine. And it just does, it's like, what the hell is this? It's made, mind you, to take dollars. And you put $1 and it goes, what the hell is this? What do I, it spits it back at you? And it doesn't spit your dollar at. It spits out change, which we talked about the Romans. We haven't used change since the Roman times. Like, the last guy who used change went up to a bar somewhere and he's like, give me a horse and a room for the night. And he's like, flick the thing. That's the last time anybody has ever used change. And yet the vending machine's like, hey, you want $37 in quarters? And I just want to know, it's a very simple, again, I want to give you money and you give me a candy bar. Why is it always broken? Like, why haven't they ever, like, figured it out? Like in the 1980s or 70s when they were first doing, I understand there's some glitches and things. Again, Buzz Aldrin was on the moon. I just want a Reese's Pieces or a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And it just leaves me with frustration and existential dread every time I interact with one of those things.
That's true. I'm so used to vending machines not working that I'm now scared to use them, and I don't. So I haven't used a vending machine in years. I've seen them. They still exist here, but I've never used them.
I scan them and give them my credit card number, which I'm sure is a great idea.
I'm sure about money.
I'm sure they're ultra safe.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Maybe they're spending all that vending machine money on their encryption, I bet. Sorry. Oh, sorry, all that budget went to encryption, so your credit card's safe with us. I got a call from my bank, and they were like, I think someone has stolen your card. I was like, what's this about? They're like, well, over the past 3 days, someone in New Jersey has purchased 57 Twix bars. And I had to go, oh, no, actually, it was me.
At least you're calling them Twix and not Twick.
I'm like on the phone, and I've got chocolate on my face. So that was me. Sorry.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All
I'm going
right,
to chop that up. There's a good 15 seconds there. There's a good 15 seconds there. Bill, I'm fed up of buying the same piece of art multiple times, right? So yesterday I wanted to watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors, right? Now, there's an argument there in itself as why I wanted to watch that film.
It was nice of you. I didn't watch it once, so you watched it twice. It's good of you.
I know.
Fill in for me there.
It's true. It's true. I've watched it so you don't have to. Like, I could get that printed on a T-shirt. I've watched it so you don't have. Actually, that's quite a good phrase. I might get that done on a cup for my Mercurio number 6 channel. I listen to it. So
nice.
I listen to it so you don't have to. That's quite good. I'll do that. So I wanted to watch it. I own it. I now no longer have a DVD player or Blu-ray player in the living room because things move on, formats move on, everything moves on, life moves on. We all stream now. And so I'm constantly rebuying things that I already own. And it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit that I'm constantly, and I'm doing it. And if we're all doing it, are we all doing it? Do you do this or is it just me?
Video games gets me. Sometimes you have to rebuy it. Yeah, music. But I have the thing where I just now listen on, and everything's on the cloud. So if I lost my membership, I'd lose my whole collection.
It's not, because as part of this rant about streaming, the way we've moved on to streaming now, so just say, right, so I've got two. So I'm about to say that the music that I want to listen to isn't on Spotify, which is very annoying. There are albums, really, in my opinion, famous albums that are not on Spotify. I own them, right? I have them, but I can't listen to them because I don't have a CD player.
CDs.
I don't have a CD player, and it's not streamable. And when I did burn it, because everyone did it, right? So when ripping, remember ripping? Ripping first happened. I ripped all my CDs, right?
Speaking of ripping, I just want to say that I have a fart story later for Hulin's 6099, who is disappointed that we didn't have any fart stories last episode. Stay tuned. I will have a fart story by the end of this. Sorry to interrupt.
We do need at least one fart gag per episode.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the fart gags always do the best. 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yep.
I ripped all my CDs when we were probably all doing that. I ripped them all to 128 kilobits per second or whatever to a format that's now defunct.
You got to do at least 320 kps, man.
Exactly. So I own the music I want to listen to, but I can't listen to it because it's on CD. I did rip it initially, but it's in a file size that's ridiculous, and it's not on streaming services. It's a pain in the arse. And I've forgotten what my other point was. Oh, no, okay. I went to watch Kafka's Metamorphosis in the theatre the other day, and I was telling the person I was with, oh, yeah, it's a good play, but this reminds me so much of Lynch's Eraserhead. When we get home, we'll watch Eraserhead, and you'll watch this, and you'll go, oh, my God, the existential dread and everything. Yeah. They're just like, they're like this, right? And we get home.
It's on the Criterion Collection.
I
think it is.
Eraserhead is not streamable on any service in the UK.
Oh, I had to, because I wanted to
watch it.
I wanted to watch, they did a remastered Lost Highway, and I had to get the Criterion Collection. You can, I think, buy the DVD for like $250.
Haven't got a
DVD
DVD
player.
player.
On the Criterion.
Haven't got a DVD player.
Watch it on my Xbox.
Yeah, my Xbox no longer works with my TV. So anyway, my point being, streaming, this modern thing, it's a mixture of magic and brilliance, and a massive backward step where I can no longer listen to All Hell's Breaking Loose down at Little Cabby Wilson's place by Wolfsbane. Right, have you got one?
I was just going to add to that. Yeah, I think there's going to come a point where some major company is going to shut down. I think the point where we lose access to just about everything, that people will realize the downfall of not owning any physical media. And I do it too. Like I own barely anything physical media wise. But I do think at some point, video games I'm starting to see it the most, where like they'll close down servers, or GTA 4 I always liked, and they lost the music license. So the only ones you can buy now have like half the songs missing, because I think they got like a 10-year music license for a lot of the songs they included, and it's just not the same experience played without. And some of them aren't even popular. Like they had a Russian station that you would listen to, Nico and them, and a lot of the great songs on that just aren't on there anymore. Vladi FM, I think it was called, or something. My own evil brain. This isn't one, I think everyone experiences this, but it does bother me. So, like you have it, your day at work and whatever, you come home, you see your family, and then you go to bed, and you're like, okay, finally going to get to rest. It's been a hard day. I'll think about something cool. Maybe I'm writing something or working on something. And then your brain goes, hey, remember that thing you said that was a little awkward and the other person took it the wrong way? Let's go over that again. And you go, oh, no, I don't. Because there's no like redeeming, like I'm not going to fix it. You said it. It's not getting fixed. It's just there, and you wish that you had a delete button in your brain, and your brain goes, yeah, no, let's revisit this, and you go, no, I don't want to, and then you battle with it, and what happens to me is I'll battle with it, and I can't get to sleep, and once I finally get it pushed out of my brain goes, okay, I'll stop arguing, but by the way, you might have forgot, but you're gonna die, and probably sooner now than it's ever been. I just want to remind you that you're not going to exist soon. And I go, okay, good night.
Wow.
And
you went from a rant about how you've said something to someone because you've said something too quickly and you've said something without thinking, and then you dwell on the fact that you might have hurt their feelings, and then if you're anything like me, you'll end up texting them to apologise for what you said, and if
Make
you're
it even worse.
But you went then and you moved on to another annoyance of mine, which is just the fact that we're gonna die, and I'm more worried about dying than I've ever been in my life, and I feel like I'm gonna die soon.
Well, it's because we're all closer to it, and whoever you are watching this, you're closer today than you were yesterday to it. And join our fun podcast. Please like and subscribe.
This is a proper. I've got an actual dread, an existential dread about this. Too much to be joking about it.
But I think it's the similar thing in that we're all aware of it, and dwelling on it, to a certain extent, can be healthy if you come to terms with it. But then there's always a point, and I think what I do, not talking about work, but like just to be more general, is a very predict problems before they happen. And so part of what you do is you predict them, and you look at everything that could possibly go wrong, and then you think of like, okay, I'll do this, that. And there's always this line of demarcation where you go from that's helpful, and you're thinking of things that in the moment you can go to, and then you get to obsessiveness. And your brain doesn't always follow what your conscious mind wants you to do. And that's what I mean with, like, you say something weird, maybe something embarrassing happened to you. And I do think the fear of death falls into that too, because it's another thing that you're aware is going to happen. You've probably thought it through as much as you need to, and you don't necessarily want to be thinking about it right now. And your brain goes, no, this is here. And it might mean you need to deal with it more, all of that. But I always just what I find frustrating is you can dedicate time to it if you want, but it's when you don't want to dedicate, you just want to go to sleep, that these things tend to... And it's probably because it's the quietest you've ever been as far as the outside world. The kids are asleep, your wife's asleep. Normally I'm always listening to an audiobook or a podcast if I'm walking around the house. Like, I don't have a lot of, like, dead silent time.
Yeah, so you mean specifically when you're lying in bed at night, and you should just be relaxing, going to sleep. Yeah, these things come back to kind of haunt you, but especially the idea that you're going to die.
That lately, and it's just that it's like it's coming soon, And I don't mean it's happening tomorrow, but again, we don't know when it's going to happen. I know a person that's a little older than me that just died of a heart attack and just didn't know.
I know you told me. And, I've talked to you off camera before about I've got a recurring. I think I'm going to be dead within 5 years, and it's just going round and round in my head, and it's. I think I've got serious psychological issues, but we probably shouldn't discuss that on the podcast.
Well, I'll say this though. I'll just listen
to. I'll get over it by doing a reaction to the next King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album, which is called Petradragonic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night, and Annihilation of Planet Earth, and the Beginning of Merciless Damnation. Coming soon.
I'll actually watch that because since you started doing those, I've become a big fan of King Gizzard.
What a band! What a band! Holy shit! They've been around, Bill. They've been around 10 years, and this is album 24, I think.
One guy I knew got obsessed with their song Rattlesnake. And he just played it for like days on end. So you just walk by his cubicle and it'd be like, rattlesnake, 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 and he just like never turned it off.
That could be a pet peeve. That could be a pet peeve, right? When people, and I do it myself, but when people, they're singing a song. Yeah, so in their head they can hear the music and they know what they're doing. But all you hear when you walk past is, rattlesnake, 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 rattle me, and you think, what the hell is going on there? Why is that bloke sitting in a cubicle shouting rattlesnake? Idiot.
Yep.
It's rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes. I will put a bow on the death talk in that. The good news is I've never met anyone who said, I think I'm going to die in the next 5 years, that actually die the next. They're always the ones that die at 110.
Don't make
the
me
guys
prove
that
you wrong.
go, feeling fine. They're the ones that die. You better not. It'll be 6 of more of Bill podcast. So.
You'll just be called Bill of the Other.
No. No, we're closing shop. We will not. There will not be a. I probably will not be doing a podcast.
You carry every episode.
I don't think I'd get.
No, sorry. You carry me on every episode. We should call this Bill of the Other, 6 of 1. And
that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say to my wife. I'm gonna go. 6 just died. How am I gonna get the next episode together by Thursday? No, we're not doing any more podcasts. If I would let you have my permission to do reaction videos if I bite the big one, but
I can react. React to
that would be cool. No, it would be even funnier if you had 6 of one and Bill the other, and you just got another Bill, just some guy like, "Hey, I'm Bill," but he's like from Finland. "Hey, I'm Bill from Finland. I will be the new
it would
other."
Work.
I think it would work.
William's quite a common name. All I got to do is go around the streets and speak to everyone called William and find one that's funny.
What's more generic than a bald American man with a goatee? I mean, I think you could throw a rock and hit about 10 of me. I think you'd be just fine. So I want to take this opportunity to tell my fart story for Hoolin's 6099. Okay. So when I was younger, my family would take me and my brother to a campground on the Chesapeake Bay. It was called Sandy Cove. And we didn't have a ton of money, so there was a hotel, but we couldn't afford to stay there. So we stayed in the campground for some years. And then finally one year... when I watch Mr. Ballin or whatever, this never happens when he's telling one of his stories. No one belches in the middle of his sordid tales. All right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. So one year, my parents did a little better, and you just wipe your nose with your hat. All right. Anyway. All right. So one year, my parents did well financially, and we could afford to go to the hotel, and but we could only afford to go during Senior Citizens Week. So it was me, my family, my brother, and then a bunch of elderly people. So they let us stay, but it was cool though, because the place was practically empty. Me and my brother running backstage, and so as you can imagine, my brother, like me, liked to laugh at farts. May he rest in peace, and my little brother. And so I must have been 10 or 11. He was 4 years younger than me, so I'm not good at maths, but I think that means he was 6 or 7. And so my parents had gone out as a Christian thing, so they had gone out to the sermon or whatever they're doing, and left me and my brother in a hotel. And so I am in the bathroom taking a bath, and it's got a fiberglass tub, right? And my brother is out sitting in the hotel room, and now again I know my brother's gonna laugh at this, so the water had just started coming up, and so I fart on the bottom of the fiberglass tub, and so it just reverberates brah, with a little water going, yeah, with a little water going, a little bit at the bottom. And so my brother starts laughing, and then we hear this old woman out in the hall, and she goes, "What was that?" And then this old man goes, "Sounds like a truck." And we laughed for hours, the whole rest of the vacation. My brother would just go, "Sounds like a truck." So there you are, Hoolin's 6099. I hope you enjoyed my...
I've got a similar fart story. Do you want to hear my fart story?
Absolutely.
It's very, very similar. I went to Butlins, which is a holiday camp over here.
Butlins?
In America. It's called Butlins. It's a holiday camp. They have chalets.
It sounds like Fritos that are made of ass-shaped things. Sorry.
Fuck me in my life. It's got chalets and rides and stuff, and it's where all the kids go with the families. It's like a family place. Okay. And they were having a WWE event there. And I think CM Punk was there, and I think the guy who's in Blade Runner 2019. What's he called?
Ryan Gosling.
Batista. Ryan Gosling. Yeah, Ryan Gosling. No, Ryan Gosling was there. Yeah. Anyway, anyway, so we go and watch it. I'm naked, but I go and buy a WWE replica WWE belt, one of those big gold things. I'll put
Okay,
I
sure.
could put the picture on the screen, but I'm naked in it. And I wear that. Anyway, so I get into the whole vibe of the thing. And we go back to a chalet, me and my mate. And we got this twin beds, not a double bed. It's twin beds, okay? And he farted. And it was like the gods. It was incredible. I've never heard anything like it.
Yeah.
He let rip.
Yeah.
And all I heard was, it was in the middle of the night, and all I heard was from somewhere in the distance, a little girl screaming. Mummy, what was that? Ah! And she was crying and screaming. And that was my highlight of that whole weekend.
Two things it reminds me of there. One, a Norm joke where he said, my dad used to beat me with the belt, and the hardest years were when he was the WWE champion of the world.
That's good. That's good.
The second one was me and my brother shared a room, and one of my great regrets in life is we would wake each other up and we had to fart so we could laugh, you know? And so I had to fart, and I was like, Timmy, and he wouldn't wake up. And then I farted for so long that I had to stop and catch my breath to finish it. And no one heard it. It was like my greatest achievement. It was the greatest thing I ever did.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was
And
your
no one
greatest
knows.
achievement, and no one.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah.
if a tree falls in a forest, but there's no one there to hear it, does it make
it's
a
like
sound?
that. It's like that,
Bill
and then my
farts-
son.
Bill farts.
that then my kids. No, it was,
Oh, brilliant.
it was so. Yeah, I literally had to go. Take a.
Oh, do you know what? Farts are funny. We have to
Yes.
have them in every podcast. I say it one final time. English comedy is complete. The foundations, the whole foundations are fart gags. Everything from there up, Benny Hill, Monty Python, everything, Young Ones, everything from there up is totally and utterly built on farts and feces, and it's just brilliant.
Well, you just think about the most stuck up, like, person you've ever met in your life, and know that there's been some time where they smell really bad and their butt makes a trumpet sound.
Yeah.
Like how is that not the Queen of England did, you know, it was like rah! And ripped one. But that one will get me in trouble with the British audience, so we should probably cut that one out. How dare you?
That's a phrase. When she was alive, it was something that everyone said. Like, if anyone ever tried to be a bit uppity, you'd say, well, the Queen farts. You know, the Queen has to take a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really believe that, though.
That sounds like brilliant.
Queens.
Sounds like brilliant stage direction. Like you read the script and in parentheses it says the Queen farts.
Oh, that's another. That could be another T-shirt. So we've got. I listen to albums so you don't have to, and
Yep.
the Queen farts.
We call that an action line
Underlined.
in the biz. We call that an action line in the biz.
Right. I'm gonna have a series of action lines. The Queen farts.
All right, so I've got one more
Go for it.
that this is now that we're down in the gutter.
Yeah, I'll screw it. We're in the
So
gutter.
we're talking about farting. We've all got a trap door, right? And so let's say you gotta go real bad, and you arrive to your house. Now you know the toilet is upstairs. You just gotta get in. It's gonna take you about 4 or 5 minutes, and then the guy who operates my trap door is like Anakin Skywalker in Attack of the Clones. I'm like, all right, Anakin, we'll take him together. And he's like, no, I'm going now. Just like right in my driveway, you know, and you're like, what? You know, there was a Russian, what was his name? I think I wrote it. It's sad. I wrote this in my notes. There was a Russian named Stanislav Petrov, who during he prevented World War III. He was ordered to fire nuclear missiles at the United States, and he felt that the order might be wrong, and he refused it. Well, the man who operates my trap door is the opposite. I'm like, I think I might. We're going now. Send everything. We're going. Like, I don't understand. Because then you're bargaining. You're like, just 5 minutes. We're getting there. We're there. We just got to get there. Just give me 5. And the guy that operates that switch is just like, nah, I get paid by the hour. We're doing it now. And just completely, like, I just don't understand We've evolved for millions of years, and then somehow it's, my trapdoor don't know the difference between my driveway and the toilet seat.
I want it
The highbrow
noted
section of our podcast.
yeah, exactly. I want it noted that a few episodes ago, Bill said to me, he sent me a private message, and he said, Mercurial number 6, I think we should. I think we've done enough fart gags now. I think in the future we'll cut down on them. And I said, okay, Bill, if that's how you feel, we won't do any ever again.
Oh, don't worry.
The trapdoor story.
Don't worry. Well, you see, I didn't say what I wanted to say. I called it trapdoor. That's okay because it's innuendo. I didn't say what I actually was. I called it a trapdoor, so that's fine. But no, the truth is, I'll be going to bed tonight, and my brain will go, half your new podcast is disgusting. And then I'll have in my head, I'll picture my kids growing up, and they're about to get in Yale, and then the lady will be like, let's just Google their parents, and it'll be a video of me talking about my trapdoor. And then they'll be like, sorry, Yale doesn't accept Harvard. At Harvard, we don't accept those sorts of people.
What I
to
would
do
say,
maths. To do maths.
I know you're taking the piss there, but actually you are saying it correctly now, and I don't feel. I just feel like a huge weight has been taken off my shoulders hearing you say maths. I would say in the defence of fart gags and all sort of stool related humour, it is intellectual, and it dates back to Shakespeare. Well, probably dates back to the cavemen, but Shakespeare was doing it. If Shakespeare can make fart and poo gags, then you should see it as a sign of high IQ, and it can only rub off well on offspring, and Harvard are going to say, yes, we not only accept you, but we embrace you. We embrace you.
Yeah, so you said that. Do you remember in the play where he said, Horatio, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamed of in your philosophy.
Oh, there's a good 10 seconds there.
I remember that part when you said the Shakespeare thing. On a more serious note, my thought is this. We talked about like worrying about death and everything. We're all going to die. And as much as we can pretend we're educated and sophisticated, we all make trumpet noises with our butts. And I find it pretending otherwise to almost be insulting. And like, if you're going to die, laugh at yourself. Laugh at the worst parts of yourself. And I think talking about, honestly, relationships, maybe not farts, but I am a believer that, yes, you're attracted to people, physical attractiveness, that all plays a role. But what really binds together the greatest relationships, in my opinion, is sharing faults. It's like you never go, oh, this girl's perfect. Like they always say that, but that would be awful. It's like the people that share similar or understand your true kind of neurotic. Everybody has their own neurosis and everyone has their own foibles. And when you're with someone that either shares them or truly gets them, to me, those are the best relationships. And it's funny because as a society now, we pretend we have none of them. Like, we don't really do it on this, like I'm not airbrushing, I don't have the thing on, but like, you put a photo up and you do the filters, and then we're doing all this stuff to wipe away our blemishes and the things we're trying to hide. But then when you find out that someone else does the same thing, that really unites you with other people, in my opinion. It's really when you go, oh my God, you do that too. Because we all do. We all do stupid, awful, immature things from time to time. And I think living in a society where we pretend we don't is actually bad for our mental health, would be my argument.
Wow, you're like a self-help guru.
I don't know about that.
You are. You see, I won't joke for a minute. You really are quite a clever bloke, aren't you? You're the cleverest bloke I've ever met.
Now I feel embarrassed.
You are the cleverest, most funny man I've ever met. And sometimes when you just speak like that, it's like if you wrote that down, that would sell 1 million.
Nah, I can never be successful. That's, I think, the good Lord decreed that.
And we also like the self-deprecating comeback to that.
Yeah.
We like
I
the
feel
self-deprecating
uncomfortable.
comeback.
I don't know. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, and obviously I think the world of you. I feel really uncomfortable when people compliment me. I don't know what to
Oh,
do.
well, it's staying in. I'm going to cut it into a 15-second clip as well.
Oh, no. It's gonna
Yes, I am. And I'm going to put sound effects in the background and a picture of a dinosaur doing that.
You could just picture me just red-faced watching it. My face just turns red, and I go, I don't know how to act.
No, it's true though, because we spend so much of the time in these podcasts joking around, but it's almost like we could almost do another podcast where it's all very serious, and you could give kind of life-affirming advice to people.
The problem with giving advice is
genuinely mean that.
I appreciate that, but I feel I'm too messed up to do that. Like, I feel like a self-help group. If I had $1 million and was living in a mansion and was living on the top of a mountain giving answers to questions from wayward travelers, but there's so much I need to figure out. But I do think that's part of our thing together is like none of us have the answers, but at least we can sort of share the difficulties. And it makes it lighter. And like I'll say, and not to be like my wife is amazing, and the ability to like share fears and everything, and even if they don't have the right answer, just listen, just be there and understand can make such a difference. So like having people in your community and you're the same way, like I can call you and vice versa, and just lay stuff on you and feel better after. And sometimes we don't have the answers, but we can understand what it's like to be in some places. And I think people need that more nowadays. I think we're so busy with these, you're talking about the attention span things, that you miss out on subtlety, and you miss out on, life is so subtle and complicated that you can't really get through that in 10-second bursts. And I think a lot of us are feeling lonely and unconnected, not connected to each other. And I think getting out, like our faults, putting that out there a little bit more. And I wonder if that'll break soon. Especially, I do think we're going to universal, not to get into a political thing, I think we're going to universal basic income. I think AI and the advent of all that is going to make it very, very difficult for people to work and like how we see it now. And I wonder if that'll finally break us being allowed to just actually be ourselves and not the public persona. I have a buddy that I always appreciated with him. You know how you have that, like, okay, I'm in public now, and then you have the real you, and it's not that different, but just, I'm not going to make that fart joke in certain places that I would make, on a live podcast. But he's even more, where he's just wherever he is, he's just the same. I always appreciated that with him, it's a hard thing to do,
The old persona thing's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's like, am I different when the camera's switched on than when the camera's not switched on? I would say not really, but there's got to be an element of
There is, and you're the same person. Like, you're not a hypocrite. Like, it's not like you turn this off and you're like, I hate all of this, and you're a different person. But I think for both of us, this is an aspect of who we are. And then there's other aspects that just we don't put up. And I think everybody does that. And is that healthy in the long run? Because you did it because you want to hide your insecurity, because you don't want people to attack you for it. But would we all be all better if we all felt safe in just being like, yeah, I don't like this, or I don't feel good about this, or I don't know.
I quite like this. We've got a format coming in, because I did this on the last episode as well, where we joke around, yeah. But do you remember episodes of He-Man and Masters of the Universe?
Yeah.
Where you'd have the episode, and at the end, Adam would look at camera and just deliver a bit of a speech about morality. I think.
Shut up.
Right? No, I think this is the way forward, because I'm going to edit this. This is all staying in, because I think it's really good, because people will look forward. The people that watch, the one person that watches past the first 30 seconds, they know that after all the fart gags, we get to the end where Bill speaks the truth. It's like Network, the movie from the 70s. But at the end, Bill speaks the truth. You never really know what people want. And when you think you know what they want, it turns out they didn't. And then when you just throw something out into the world on the spur of the moment, everyone loves it. And maybe that's the whole Friday I'm in love thing, where someone spends a lot of time putting their heart onto tape or onto film, and then the throwaway moment to satisfy the record company, that gets the views. and they're stuck. And they're stuck.
Yeah.
And, oh no, we need another Friday I'm in Love. But I don't write Friday I'm in Loves. But you just did it, Robert. You just did it. Do it again. Oh.
Well, we've talked about it with this show as much as we try, and if you'll notice watching this, we try different titles, because the trick is to catch the algorithm, and we just want people to watch. We're not going to change what we do. It's like, lighting firecrackers to get people to look over here, and that's the thing about the shorts is more people will see them because of the algorithm. It's not the quality, but we've always talked about there's steps we could take that we know would be more popular, but it's not us, and I'd rather live or die on who we are than live or die doing something that I am not, that is not me, or that I don't. Imagine failing. If you fail at something and you're like, well, that's me. That's my sense of humor. It doesn't feel good, but you can live with it. But if you fail and you go, oh, I hated that too, it's just even worse. So I think, and then I'll also point out that you're giving me these nice compliments, but you're a person that started, what was it, 2012 when you made your first YouTube channel?
2015.
2015.
Yeah, 2015.
And I remember,
so it's 8 years, I think.
I remember we met in New York City, and you were actually, no, it was Philadelphia that time, and you were upset because you were like, I've only got 200 subscribers, and then every day, and this guy, he used to start, he would open up his cupboard, and then he would like be in the camera, and he'd give his like little thoughts for the day and all that stuff. And then you tried that, and then you try something else, and like relentless, and built to over 100,000 people. Like that's probably the biggest accomplishment that I know of in my friend group. Like, it's just amazing to me that like, and no help,
it's almost
like
impossible. It's almost,
and no help. It's like, yes, I would encourage you and stuff, but there's no credit. Like, you have all the credit as far as like the ideas and just like learning editing, learning video editing, and it takes all of your skill. Like, you have all this incredible skill as a musician, and you never would have knew that just being able to riff in the moment and go, oh, that's the key of C, and if I play this, and recognizing production techniques and a lot of the things that you've sort of built your life all self-taught. And I've never seen anyone close to what you do with that. Like, the comedy, talent, video editing, the whole thing together. Like, I don't think I've ever, what?
This has definitely been clipped out and put on Instagram. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that.
I thought you were going to say, thought you were going to say you weren't going to put it in the show. You're like, I'm highlighting this.
That's staying in.
But it's the truth. It's all
That's
true.
Staying in.
It's all true.
That's staying in. I'll edit the stuff out when I was complimenting you, and I'm going to leave that in.
Go ahead. I feel more uncomfortable with you compliment. In my head,
that's staying in.
In my head, everyone watching that's going, bullshit. He's an idiot. Why are you saying this about this guy?
Nah, that definitely doesn't come across. I think it's hard to know. All I would say is it's hard to know what success means. We put collectively so much effort in. I do so much editing and stuff, and it's definitely disappointing when an episode gets like 50 views. And I know that 5 of them are me, and then a few of them are you, right? Yeah. So you're talking a handful. On the positive side, if the attention span generation thing has a positive, when we do clip the clips out and put them out there, collectively combined, there's quite a few. We're talking over 10,000 views. And so there are TV shows and albums in history that have been really good that have got less, fewer views than that.
I take solace in that I know there are people that watch our episodes and really like them, and like that's cool to me. And like, you always want to be more successful, sure, but if I felt like no one liked it, I don't know. I feel like there are people that generally get it, and then that's sort of enough for me. Because we're
more
fun
successful than Nick Drake was in his lifetime.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know because obviously I would like a full-length episode to get 1,000 views, and I think I might just leave this in the podcast because it's interesting for the viewers that do watch this far to sort of hear our feelings about it.
Well, I know Not Your Dad talked about having a YouTube channel, and he had a good one. He was doing movie reviews. I watched a couple, and he was just having trouble getting traction, and so he stopped. Yeah.
It is so difficult. It must be the equivalent of being an actual TV executive where, yeah, you could be running NBC or BBC One or whatever, but you're still in this position where you can put something out there that no one cares about, and then your job's on the line. Yeah. It's a really hard world, and we're talking about two people here. We're just people. I'm just a person in a room, and it's just, I would say it's actually quite stressful. Even though it's supposed to be a hobby or whatever, it's actually quite stressful. So people listening to the podcast or watching the podcast or even watching the shorts, yeah, it does help. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Fake views. Watch it 20 times.
Nah, I'll say just keep watching. I'll say just keep watching,
views.
Enjoying. Keep watching and enjoying. Yeah. I don't want to ever be an Amway salesman. It's like a pyramid. So you'll be on the top, and then your friends will get $15. Yeah, just enjoy it.
I'll leave all this in because this is the sort of thing I usually cut out, but I'll leave it all in because I do think it's the sort of thing I'd be interested in. If I was watching a podcast and I can see that there's only 42 views, and I'd think, oh my God, how do these guys feel about producing with this amount of effort?
But we also get like 100 podcast downloads a week. And
oh yeah, and those shorts. I'll tell you, some of those shorts. If you get 10,000, you can. Yeah. We're talking, 10,000 views. I mean, that's weird, isn't it? There'll be a specific thing that you say, and it'll probably happen in this episode. Yeah. We'll clip out a specific thing that you say, and 10,000 people will watch it, and 100 people will give it a thumbs up. That's interesting.
Your LSD cat joke was the biggest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, 15,000 people. But so I've justified this all my sort of YouTube career. But if you say something in this episode that 10,000 people watch, can you imagine gathering them all in a room? Yeah, that's a big gig, a big deal. Unfortunately, it won't happen this time because you just did fart gags.
My hope is to gather 10,000 people in a room and tell them about my unstable bowels. I'm like, hey,
15,000 people. I've got a story about my shop door.
I can't make it to the toilet. I usually do, but it's a very harrowing event. I do, but when I make it, it's like a spy movie where he's like, I don't know if the blue wire or the red one, and he's sweating. And then he does it, and everyone goes, oh. I'm like, oh, we made it. Oh, thank God we made it. Because, sometimes I'm like, if there's anyone in my way, I am screwed. If there's anyone blocking me to this bathroom, the world is going to end.
Well, honestly, Bill, I did have more points, but I just feel like we've come to a natural end. Do you know what? Maybe we'll do another annoyances video another day.
Yeah,
because I've got hundreds of them. I didn't even hit my main ones. I've got some real major.
I hit
annoyances.
all of them. Oh no, there were a couple I didn't hit, but yeah, for the most part, I hit all of them. Okay, I have a pretty good life, I guess. Yeah.
No, everything annoys me. I was saying to people, I've got to come up with a top 10 list of things that annoy me, and they're like, Mercury number 6, because that's what they call me. Mercury number 6. Everything in the world annoys you. How are you going to narrow it down to 10?
Of course, beep out later when I said my full name as a third joke.
I've
beep
already,
that out. Yeah.
As you said it, I thought I'm beeping that.
Yeah. I was saying.
Yeah, as you said it, I thought I'm beeping that. So the viewers, the listeners all have already heard that beeped.
Yep. Good.
On that bombshell, you have no ability to work out what not to say. You keep causing me editing problems. I feel like Marlon Brando with tissues. Hang on.
When God gave out butts, I got an extra one in my chin, except for a filter.
You keep giving me editing problems with your inability to self-edit and self-regulate.
But no, it's more like...
I'm going to give you an offer you can't... Oh, God. Oh.
No, it's more like...
Oh, dear me. How do you do that?
It's like you're an errand boy.
Oh, that's good.
It's like you're an errand boy delivering, like a grocery clerk coming. It's like the. I listened to the edit, and I was like, the will, the strength to do that, to just know when to filter your words instead of just saying what comes to your brain. It just the strength. I just need something to eat.
I'm gonna edit your vocals over me doing that with my thing, and that's all gonna come together beautifully. And on that bombshell, I think that's where we should end.
We did it! Another episode!
Until next time, over and
out!